Appreciate it. We now get back to politics and the president's fiery news conference that just wrapped up a short time ago. From tax cuts to health care, President Obama was anxious to defend his record and blame the Republicans for political gridlock. Joining me now, Ari Berman with The Nation, also Alfonso Aguilar with the Latino Partnership for Conservative Principles. Gentlemen, thanks for being here. Ari, I want to start with you. The president said he would be happy to be tested. Happy to be tested by the right. Like, we didn't see just a big test right now, but explain to all of us what that's going to mean in the months ahead as we see the scoreboard so far.
Well, we'll see. There's going to be a lot of tests, I think, going forward, because now he has to deal with a Republican House. Remember, he's still dealing with a Democratic Congress. We're still in the lame duck period. He's been dealing with the Democratic majority, and he hasn't dealt with them that well. So it'll be very interesting to see how he deals with a Republican House while retaining the Senate and while retaining the presidency. I think the tax cut fight was the first inkling of what it'll be like, and it could get pretty messy on all sides.
Alfonso, the president referred to the tax cuts for the wealthy as the holy grail for Republicans. Why is that something new, especially given the fact that we've had these Bush tax cuts in place for a while, and now we're going to have them extended for the next 2 years, which ramps us right up to the next election?
Well, you know, I think it's a great development. I mean, conservatives and Republicans are happy. You don't increase taxes when the economy is sluggish, when you have unemployment at 9.8%. But I think this is important because for the first time, we've had the President of the United States seriously and constructively reach out to Republicans. And they've accomplished something important for the nation and for our economy. So if he's going to do the same with the next Congress, reach out to Republicans, I think we're going to be able to accomplish a number of things on important issues like immigration. If he reaches out, if he sends a cabinet member, somebody, a senior advisor from the White House to deal with Republicans on a number of issues, I think he'll be able to accomplish a number of things for the nation. But this requires presidential leadership and reaching out to Republicans. And frankly, this is the first time since he began his administration that he has seriously and constructively reached out to Republicans.
All right, I see you shaking your head. You don't agree with this?
No, I think he's reached out to Republicans on a lot of issues. I think he reached out to them on the stimulus. I think he reached out to them on Afghanistan. He reached out to them on a lot of positions. He consistently watered down his agenda to try to please the GOP. And in fact, he didn't get any votes. And so the right's mad at him, the left's mad at him. He's sort of pleasing no one.
Alfonso, it looks like to a lot of people, though, that the president acquiesced on his position to get to the point of the compromise where they are now. So if Republicans are holding firm, as we're saying in this lame duck Congress, what do you predict is going to be coming up as we see things changing in 2011?
Well, as I've said, I think immigration is going to be an important issue. I suspect that the president is going to make immigration a priority when he speaks to the nation and speaks to Congress during the State of the Union. But I think if he approaches Republicans, Republicans will be willing to address the issue of immigration on a constructive way. So I think there are areas where Republicans can work with the president. Obviously, there are other areas like health care where we're going to have a tough ideological battle. But at the end, Republicans have a mandate now controlling the House to govern. And on a number of issues, they're going to have to work with the president. But the president has to be willing to talk to Republicans. This president, when he got to the White House, he really didn't do a serious job of reaching out to Republicans and befriending Republicans. And now, after this midterm election, he has to work with Republicans. And, you know, he's a very ideological president. He's not Bill Clinton. Let's see what happens. But he clearly needs to work to develop a partnership with Republicans.
Here we go, talking about the ideological purity of everything. But Ari, give me an idea. I just got a tweet from somebody saying, you know, it's all about the money, stupid, that the unemployment benefits are going to run out for the unemployed, the 2 million Americans that were facing that predicament. However, are we doing more of the same by extending these tax cuts into a situation where we're really not bouncing back? The unemployment rate has gone up to 9.8%. How are we moving forward if we're doing all the same things that we've done before?
Yeah, we're just kicking the can down the road. And it's funny, Obama basically just gave the Republicans everything they wanted. He extended all the Bush tax cuts, which is the defining priority, domestic priority of the Bush administration. And so I think it was funny to hear him say in a news conference, you know, it's like the public option fight. It is like the public option fight because Obama said he wanted a policy, which was tax cuts for the wealthy to expire, and then did absolutely nothing to fight for it. And that's why his supporters are angry. But Obama seemed more annoyed at Democrats worse than Republicans today, which was very surreal. It's like he doesn't even know who his own enemy is.
Alfonso, do you think that extending these tax cuts for the wealthy over the next 2 years are really going to create the jobs for Jane and Joe Q. Public?
Oh, absolutely. We're in this situation right now.
But how come they didn't over the last 2 years?
Well, because of the economic stimulus. What that did was to prolong basically the recession. Instead of having a strong recovery, we have still a very sluggish economy that's not creating jobs. We are in a situation where, because of government, because of the stimulus plan, government involvement in the economy has expanded, alienated private investment, and not encouraging the creation of jobs. Tax cuts work. And that's what's going to get us out of this sluggish economy.
Ari, the president said his #1 job, growing the economy, getting people jobs, getting relief.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of revisionist history in what was just said. I mean, remember, Obama inherited the economic crisis from George W. Bush. The stimulus bill did not cause the economic crisis. We had all those tax cuts under the Bush administration, and it didn't fuel growth. So I think this idea, Obama during the campaign ridiculed this idea that just giving tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires will trickle down and help everybody else. But it seems like, for whatever reason, that's now what he's going to do.
Gentlemen, I want to thank you for your time. Ari Berman and Alfonso Aguilar. Again, thank you. This was a great debate.
Thanks a lot.
Coming up.